It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube, it's your boy, Mr. Outliner. I'm back today. I got the flawless mid fade. I'm gonna give y'all my little tips, my secrets, some of the things I do to try to get this fade popping. You know what I mean? So if you saw the picture, you saw the thumbnail, you already know what's going down. You already know what type of party is about to be, you dig? But look, I gotta let y'all in on a little secret about this here. I think I could do probably like 3 or 4 times now, right? And I remember he get a fade and stuff like that. I ain't remember if it was drop fade, mid fade, because he kind of favor one of my other clients. So, I kind of get him confused, so I always ask. So boom, so he was like, man, you never remember. And I was like, yeah, I'm saying to myself, like, yeah, man, it's different. You look like this other dude. I wanted to say that, but I ain't say it. So, boom, I'm going through the motion. And then I go down and I start cutting the sideburn stuff off, right? I cut the sideburn off. He mad. He hot on the cool, he told me, like, man, dang, you cut my sideburn off. Like, I'm trying to grow my beard, right? I'm like, dang, I done cut the man's sideburn off. Accidentally, it's accident, pure accident. You see me cutting it right here. But, so if you see like he got a angry face on, it's because I cut off his beard. But I tried to fix it. I tried to make it look like something. Try to make it look like a beard. You'll see later on in the video. But I did kind of correct it. But it's no way to really actually put that hair back and let it grow. But the main thing, back to the haircut. So the main thing about this haircut, you want to get it. You want to get that bald, that slappy, that clean look. You see that right there? You have to turn your trimmers this way, right? And a lot of people don't like to do this because it does make it harder to remove the line. But if you want that crispy, that slappy bald fade, like we call it in the South, we used to call it slappy bald fade. You have to turn your clippers over and use them that way. So what you want to do, you just want to clean up the hairline, clean up the bottom, and then get ready for the fade. Now, once you got that done, you want to come back. We got our one guard. He likes to have a one open. He did tell me that. He told me a lot of stuff, but he didn't tell me to leave that beard, though. But one open. So I use the one open to go with his waves. It's going to keep his waves intact, keep them clean, keep it neat. You know what I mean? Like, make it look full. It's not going to be too close to the scalp. So I'm using the Wahl Cordless Legends. If you've been watching my videos, you already know I love these clippers, these trimmers, because they give me a lot of versatility. Once you do that, you just knock all the hair down to the same length, and then you just get ready to set the haircut up to be faded. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our lever all the way. See that? And we're going to go up 1/2 inch. Just a little bit. We don't want to go up too high because we want to make sure we keep this fade right in this area. We don't want to go too high. So first thing you do is just clean up that bottom with the lever open until you get it down, till you get everything smooth and neat, and then you can jump into the next phase. Next thing we're going to try to do is remove this bottom line. Now, I can tell you I was unsuccessful in removing this bottom line with this actual tool because sometimes you have to use the same tool you put it in with, you have to take it out with. But if you have your clippers close enough, like 0 gap, you might be able to remove that line. But I did in turn make it lighter, right? So this is going to be an adjustment for me, so it might take me a little longer on this side than normal. because I'm trying to get that slappy clean ball fade. And because I have to go back and use the same tool that I used to put it in with, it's an extra step for me. So that's an extra 3 to 4 minutes, maybe, of trying to remove that bottom line. Sometimes it's not always good to put a hard line in, but if you know how to get it out, it's cool. You can work with it. Now, you see me using what I use to put it in with to try to remove the line, right? So you see in the line, it's pretty much coming out, you know what I mean? But it's going to still take a little bit more fading to get it there, but you can get the line out with the same thing that you put in with, right? Next, we want to use our one guard, and I'm going to use this one guard. I'm going to use it like halfway open up, halfway open. I'm not going to open it all the way, but I just want to debulk right here. I just want to knock the bulk down, get it down, see if everything is going to come together when I blend it like this. And for the most part, it will. You might have to come back and fade back down with no guard on, but this is pretty much just fading into the hair but knocking the bulk off. And always make sure you use a comb or a brush when you're doing these haircuts, because it removes the excess hair out the way, so you can see what you're doing, see what's left, right? So I use that, and then after I use my one guard, I'm gonna come back with my 1.5 guard, because it's still a little bulky right above the top. That's why I got my 1.5 right there. And I just want everything to be smooth. I want it to come lay down smooth. Now you can already see that it's darker at the bottom where I started that guideline, so I'm gonna have to get it out, right? And I realized that, so after I use this 1.5 guard, I'll come back with my half guard and try to remove that bottom line, and then no guard. Just keep working my way down until I get it to look the way that I want it to. Now what you'll see me do right here is use the corner of my blade. No guard is on this clipper. I'm using the corner and I'm going open to close, working my way down until I remove all of that hair and those grooves that I want to move. You'll see me just go over it a few times, use a variety of clippers and methods, trimmers, in order to get it to look like how I want it to look, right? So don't get discouraged by this. Also, another trick to this is you have to stretch the skin, right? You have to stretch the skin and go against the grain of the hair. Stretch the skin, go against the grain of the hair. Stretching the skin is important because it's going to allow you to get inside those grooves, right? Any kind of groove you have on this hair, if it's not like totally flat where the clipper can work its magic, then it's a little harder to remove that line. Now, if you got I use a different type of blade on my clippers, so I don't use the same blade that comes on there with. I might use a taper blade instead of the fade blade. And if you got a fade blade, it might be easier for you to remove this line, but for me, I don't really like the fade blade like that per se, so I use the taper blade because it works better for me, right? So that's another thing. Learn which blades work better for you, right? And also, like I said, you see me stretching the skin right here. And then you see the fade is starting to come out now. Everything's starting to look good. So from here, you just pick and choose your spots and make sure everything is lining up the way you want it to. On this side, we do the exact same thing. Only thing I'm gonna speed it up, but the thing I want you to pay attention to here, his hair grows totally different than it does on the other side. So it's like the other side, it's like going straight down so I can fade straight up and get into the fade. On this side, his hair goes straight, like towards the front of his head. So it's like he brushed it towards the front. So if he brushing it towards the front, then going against the grain is a little different on this side than it is on the other side, if you understand what I'm saying. So we use the same technique, but we approach it differently about going against the grain. That's something that you got to pay attention to in order to make your haircuts look uniform. Sometimes the hair grows differently, so make sure you're paying attention to that.
It's another K-Town beat.
And now you could probably see it better. You see how his hair just goes straight towards his, like, towards the front of his head. It just goes straight. It's not down, it's straight. So even though it's a little bulk right here in this area that I didn't see until the end, but you'll see me go on the end and kind of still fix that up and smooth it out. But the fade itself is actually there. I removed the line and everything like that. So, you know, being mindful of the hair pattern is going to help you out a lot. Now, once we get to the back, we don't have a lot to do in the back because we kind of been working the whole head, you know, from side to side. I kind of try to work from the midpoint of the back to the front if I can. So, but once I get to the back, it's not a lot for me to do, but I use the exact same steps in order to achieve the look. So I'll show you this part and then we'll jump straight into the lineup. We're not going to use enhancements on this haircut at all, and you'll actually see me try to attempt to fix the beard situation. So stay tuned for that.
It's another K-Town beat.
And boom, now you see how the fade is coming out. Everything is good. You see what we got right here. The haircut is smooth. Everything is on point. You can see on his right side compared to what I was talking about. You see how his hair is coming down on his right side. On the other side, it's just going straight. So that's why I was telling you, the fading, the going against the grain over here is totally different than it is on the other side. So sometimes when you're fade not lining up, it's because his hair is going different, and most clients don't even know that their hair grows different like that. So that's it. That's it for the back. So now let's jump into the front. Now, once we get to the front, we just want to knock his hair down. Make sure everything is laying down the proper way for us to get it. I did notice that I stood in front of the camera on certain parts because the camera is actually right behind me, on my mirror. So sometimes I'm not aware that I'm actually where I'm standing or what can be seen, what can't be seen. But some of these parts I kind of skip out and just show you exactly what's able to be seen. This is my Mr. Outliner detailing mist. I know people want the detailing mist. I know that I'm out of the detailing mist. I know that I'm trying to get my batch in before Christmas so y'all can have nice Christmas gifts for yourself. But anyway, this is the Mr. Outliner detailing mist, and what this does is helps you create a sharp lineup, right? A sharp lineup. So you want to make sure the head is straight and you want to be able to see what you're doing.
It's another K-Town beat.
So with the edge ups, all you want to do is make sure that you take your time and you work your way all the way across. You start from the middle and go to the left, and start to the middle, go to the right, or whichever way you prefer. But just take your time with the edge up. Is no big rush on the edge up. You just want to try to make sure you get it as straight as possible, right? And here, this is where I attempted to try to fix the mustache. Now, it really bothers me if somebody say, hey man, they didn't like what I gave them. Like if the client says they're not like somebody else, but if a client is unhappy with something, then, and especially if there was an accident, which it would be at any time, but, it's like, dang, okay, I dropped the ball on that. But sometimes clients have to realize too that you have to, especially when he realized that I didn't remember his haircut, he probably should have told me, hey, look, I'm keeping my beard. Or, things, sometimes you have to remind us barbers of what you're doing. You know what I mean? I cut so many heads a week, bro, and it's no joke. But, sometimes I'm thinking, I'm in that same mode. So sometimes you gotta stop and slow down and see what's going on. But anyway, so I tried to fix it. I tried to do the little faded in beard type thing. It kind of worked a little bit, but I know it's not exactly what he wanted, but I was able to salvage what I could salvage out of it. You know what I mean? And that's all I really was trying to do. I didn't want to make it where it was, too bad, or just cutting it all off without having giving him nothing to go with. You know what I mean? This way he won't have to start from the beginning. You know what I mean? So this is what I did, and this is how it came out, So sometimes us boys we have to improvise. Sometimes clients don't know when we messed up. We can fix things and do stuff like that if we accidentally did something or something didn't come out the way we thought it was gonna come out. You know what I mean? So, don't be so hard on yourself. It happens to everybody. That's why I'm sharing this, because I ain't have to tell you that. You probably would have never knew. But, I didn't want I want people to understand, barbers to understand, new barbers or whatever, that things happen, but you have to improvise. Sometimes when comedians on stage, they might go out, they don't stop talking, or a singer, they don't stop singing. Things happen. You have to learn how to adjust, improvise, and make things better. I was, deeply bothered by that, so, but like I said, I just tried to fix it. You see the fade though, I made up for it with the fade. You know what I mean, man? Like you slap it, ball. You're clean as a whistle, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, that's pretty much the video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't liked, make sure you like. If you haven't commented, make sure you comment. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't told a friend, make sure you tell a friend. But anyway, like I say, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know how we do it. Until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out.
It's another K-Town beat.